possibility of life on Mars is the primary focus of research due to its proximity and similarities to Earth. Scientists have discovered evidence of a lost Mars that resembled Earth rather than a hellhole in recent decades. NASA's Perseverance rover recently captured an unusual image of something lying in Mars's red sand. What does it look like? What do scientists say about it? Let's take a look. The Perseverance rover of NASA captured an unusual image of something lying in Mars's red sand that's a bundle of string. NASA's latest rover, Perseverance, was landed on Mars in 2021. The NASA robot Perseverance isn't the only one exploring Jezero crater. The rover landed in Ingenuity, a tiny helicopter designed to demonstrate that aerial exploration on Mars is possible despite the planet's thin air. On April 3rd, Ingenuity emerged from Perseverance's belly. The 1.8-kilogram chopper took 5 pioneering flights over the next 5 weeks, which the rover supported and documented for posterity. Perseverance handles all communications between Ingenuity and Earth. With Ingenuity's primary mission completed, Perseverance was free to begin focusing solely on its own requirements. The rover began its first science campaign in early June, and 2 months later, it attempted to collect its first sample. The first attempt did not go well. Perseverance's percussive drill caused the target rock to crumble, and the resulting bits did not make it into the designated titanium tube. But the rover quickly recovered, socking away a core drilled from a rock known as Rochette in early September. It's currently exploring an ancient dried-up river delta. The hope is that some form of microbial life that lived and died billions of years ago will be preserved in the sediments. It's unlikely that anything is alive on Mars right now. The rover is looking for rock samples that could be returned to Earth for further analysis. They would be the first Mars rocks returned to Earth by a scientific mission. It's on its way to Jezero crater, a former lakebed and river delta, in search of ancient life preserved in microscopic fossils. Perseverance will also store samples for future missions to return to Earth, where they will be studied in greater depth by laboratories around the world. Mars is cold on average, with average temperatures of -63 degrees Celsius. Summer highs occasionally reach 30 degrees Celsius, but it's still no to lifehood. The planet's atmosphere is 95.3% carbon dioxide, and without a magnetic field, its surface is bombarded by the sun's radiation. The combination of low atmospheric pressure and cold temperatures means that liquid water is not stable at the surface. In these conditions, as we know, life cannot exist. NASA's Curiosity rover has discovered that some areas of Mars were habitable for extended periods of time in the past. However, just because something could live there did not imply that anything did. We don't know whether Mars was ever inhabited because there is no direct evidence of past life. If Perseverance finds evidence of past life on Mars, scientists will be able to determine whether it has a common ancestor with life on Earth. If they discovered life on Mars that shared those similarities, it could be related to life on Earth. If life on Earth and Mars share a common ancestor, it's possible that life began on one of the planets and was then transported to the other. It's possible that life did not begin on Earth, but rather on Mars or elsewhere in space. However, if Martian life appears to be very different from Earth life, it could mean that life is such a fundamental process of the universe that you can have 2 different life-generating events in the same solar system. That implies that life may be more common in the universe than we currently believe. On July 12, 2022, the rover's front left hazard avoidance camera captured a photo of a light-colored object that some compared to spaghetti lying on Mars's surface, but scientists have an explanation to this thing. The photo taken on July 12 showed what appeared to be a tangled web of string in the lower right corner. The image led some to wonder what the object was. Especially 4 days later after a photo taken, it was revealed that it had disappeared from that place. NASA scientists have clarified what is displayed in the photograph. They claimed the object was a bundle of string that fell off the spacecraft when it landed in February 2021. Some hardware was discarded when the rover used a sky crane to land on Mars. The mission's Ingenuity helicopter also sent more detailed photos of some of the other discarded items, including a parachute. The stringy object in the photo is Dacron netting from the rover's descent stage when it landed on Mars more than a year ago, according to NASA. Some debris was discovered more than a mile away from the landing zone in an area known as Hog Wallow Flats, according to officials. Perseverance photographed the stringy material in that location. The debris was most likely blown across the Martian surface by wind over several days or weeks to the Hog Wallow Flats area, according to NASA. The energy from the sky crane crash could have ejected the material into the air. Furthermore, some of the smaller pieces may have been ejected from the crash by ballistic forces. It appears that the material was simply blown about by the wind over a period of days or weeks. This is not the first time the rover has come across material left over from its landing on Mars. According to a tweet from the rover's official account, Perseverance's cameras captured a photo of a fragment of shiny foil in mid-June. It was thought to be a piece of the rover's thermal blanket, a thin material that regulates temperature that had fallen off during the descent stage. The interesting part is that the descent stage crashed about 2 kilometers away from the place where a thin material was found. As a result, scientists were unsure whether the object landed there during the descent was blown there by Martian winds. According to Andrew Good, a NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory spokesperson, the piece is definitely from a thermal blanket. However, they added that it's unclear which part of the spacecraft it came from. These blankets aid in temperature regulation during the critical entry, descent, and landing process, also known as the 7 minutes of terror. As a result, the team assumed that the string was part of the rover's thermal blanket, a thin material that regulates temperature, and had fallen off during the descent stage. The rover is currently observing an ancient river delta region within Mars's Jezero crater, hoping to find evidence of ancient microbial life on the planet. As a result, the location, with a history of water presence, is a good place to investigate and collect rock samples. NASA intends to return these samples to Earth for further examination. The US Space Agency has joined forces with the European Space Agency to form a 16-member Mars Sample Return Campaign science group, which will lay the groundwork for the mission. NASA stated that it will monitor potential debris sources to ensure the integrity of samples collected during space missions. NASA's rover team is investigating the new piece of debris and plans to release more information soon. With this, here comes the end of the video. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. See you in the next video. Until then, bye!